Welcome back to Business and Politics. We're talking to Secretary Gonzales. Sir, I cut you off. You were saying that there is a window of opportunity, given all of the scenarios you've mentioned. What is that for the Marcos administration?
Do well.
Do well, okay.
Do well, because you see, the imagined or real possible opposition to government would rather see government to succeed.
Okay.
Because, you know, if you are an authentic reformist or revolutionary, the first consideration you will have in your heart and in your mind is the kind of living that your people is given to.
Okay.
Now, if the situation cannot be handled properly so that the people is seen to be suffering because of a particular kind of governance, then you will have a problem.
Then you see the old issues again.
Yeah, because even if they do not like, nobody wants to create trouble today.
Okay.
That is a plus.
Okay.
You know, nobody wants.
So as I said, we can sleep soundly tonight, but we have to act on the opportunities.
That is why, to me, we're actually looking for a formula. You know, those who are concerned about the nation are looking for formulas. And what do we do now? Do we cooperate with government, help it succeed, or you see a government that will not succeed anyway? Okay. So might as well think of means of replacing it.
Right. Well, a lot of people say that most of the problems of the Philippines now, particularly on the economic front, are external, right? You have inflation, the foreign exchange rates, and others. I suppose you could say similar things about the security front, right? I mean, you have Ukraine, you have, I think the last time we talked, we were talking about President Kishida of Japan saying there are new flashpoints in Asia. And you yourself, you were, you know, particularly concerned about the global mood. You were saying that they seem to be gearing themselves for conflict. Could you elaborate on that?
You see, we have to start blaming. You know, I mean, we understand.
Okay.
For example, we know that this administration is suffering from the possible deficiencies of past administrations.
Okay.
We know that. We know that the situations on the economy of the world is affecting us. We know that. But people are asking, so what do we do?
Okay.
You know, what do we do? We're suffering.
All right.
Okay? What are the solutions? How can we contribute? This should be the question that should be answered.
Okay.
Stop saying, no, it's not my fault.
Right.
You know, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. We all know that.
Okay.
Our people, you may not think that they do. They understand.
Okay.
But what they do not understand is, okay, we're with you. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault.
Right.
But we're suffering.
Right. So what should we do? What's your proposed game plan for the government?
We can only do some little contributions. For example, it's the matter of really, for example, when we address certain problems, we're looking at the externals, the manifestations, but we have to address properly. For example, in the case of food security, no,
okay,
there are indications that we are not succeeding in addressing the fundamentals of or requirement of food security. Like, why is the question of prices of onions, of salt, of sugar,
eggs,
eggs? These are manifestations that there's something wrong already, and it's not a matter of saying, well, kasi ganito yan eh.
Right.
No. But for example, maybe we have not appreciated that we are no longer this small nation of long ago.
Okay.
We are a fast-growing, big nation.
Okay.
The requirements of food is different.
Okay.
We cannot continue, for example, to entrust our food requirement with the same sector that we are used to to rely on. We have to think big. And to me, there are indications that we can do something about this. For example, we are using the wrong sector. For example, to produce the kind of food that we need or is required by a big population such as the Philippines.
What's the right sector?
Our industry.
Okay.
For example,
You mean as opposed to backyard farming, go to corporate farming?
but this is go corporate, or
Scale.
not just corporate, mega corporate scale.
Okay.
Because of what, for example, we have these industries in the Philippines. You know, you worry about when I listen to the agriculture people, they're worrying about farm to market roads. They're worrying about packaging. They're worrying about what will happen to this good transferring from A to B, like that. A corporation can handle that with ease and with efficiency.
Okay.
They know how to handle these things.
Okay.
So why is government trying to do things that certain sectors of our society can handle?
Okay.
Devote it to them. For
Okay.
example, you see, for example, I heard the San Miguel Corporation is putting up chicken farms that will harvest 80 million chickens per year.
Okay.
That's the kind of level that we need.
Okay.
If you have to increase the meat production that is needed by our people, hold them.
Okay.
You know, during the time of GM, I remember I said that let's call Del Monte, let's call Dole, you know, these things, and match it.
Okay.
Match it so that you can increase the productivity.
Okay.
And it's not just food production. We can agriculture has the potential of earning currency for us. We have sugar. We have the fiber industry. We have coconut. We have, you know, bring them together. It doesn't necessarily mean that we will not give attention to our farmers.
Right.
No, that's another matter. But when it comes to food security, you look at the sector that can deliver.
Yeah.
And I think that is the industrial sector of our agriculture, and they are there.
Yeah. Can I play a bit of devil's advocate, Secretary? Because you mentioned Dole and Del Monte. You know, you mentioned, of course, bananas and pineapples. These have been wildly successful in the Philippines, but these are also sectors where government has intervened the least. Whereas, you know, in rice, coconut, you've seen underdevelopment, underperformance of those sectors. So isn't there an argument to be made that, you know, let's look at pineapples and bananas, and the lesson there may be for government not to interfere?
No, the thing is that I think that when it comes to resources, you give resources to those who
Okay.
can deliver.
Okay.
For example, rice.
Okay.
I have to admit, we have no rice industry in the Philippines.
Okay.
It's something that we need to establish.
Okay.
But my only appeal there are people who will think, do not force us into a situation where we're trying to plant rice where there is no water.
Okay.
There's so much water in other
Right.
parts of the country. Things like that.
Right.
That, you know, help the industries take off. Actually, the problem is not whether they will fail or not.
Okay.
The problem is that what we will look is something social already. The problem, it will have social cost, and that is where government must come in also.
Okay.
Other than supporting them with resources, I think that, you know, when you go agriculture, you're thinking of millions of agricultural workers.
Okay.
Many farmers do not want to remain farmers.
Right.
Many farmers do not want their children to remain farmers or to become farmers, precisely because a farmer, you know, we call them heroes, but we condemn them to a situation wherein they get less than what they give. So that should be corrected. If you industrialize the different crops in agriculture, for example, the remaining problem is social, meaning how we will now begin to classify the workers that will be in these industries. Very simple. You allow the organization of trade unions. You allow collective bargaining agreements by workers who will be in this country. Then you balance it. But because what is needed is for those who are working in these industries are treated properly.
Okay.
To my mind, as an example of food security, allow those who knows the business and help them even, but protect the workers that will be working under them.
Right.
By allowing certain things that we already have also.
Right. Secretary, we have to take another quick break. This is Business and Politics. We're talking to Secretary Bert Gonzales.